going to start the class, let some discussion must take on place. First, Aritro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first thing is that last week তো আমরা ক্লাস নিতে পারলাম না, স্যাটারডে ভেবেছিলাম, তো আজকে নিচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ, so কয়েকটা point I need to discuss that your hardware lab still it has not started as per the decision that it will start from 17, that is from tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think your other lab, like other two labs like Python and data structure, it has already been started. So just I want to know the feedback about those two labs. How the labs are going on? Is that lab it has take place physically? That means you are doing the lab by using your laptop or mobile, and SAD is there for the investigating and for correction of your problem.
Sir, in data structure lab, sir told us that he will not be conducting any live sessions for lab. Rather, we will be submitting assignments. And for
No,
Python lab,
this is lab session. No? This is not an assignment session. So what's when he has informed that he will take an assignment session rather than lab session.
yes, sir, kind of.
Okay, so the solution is that either I have to change the name of DS lab rather than I have to change that one or DS assignment session. Otherwise, if it is a lab session remain, so he has to take the lab. Okay, I will talk to him. And for Python,
So Python class has started, but students are not getting interested.
as you have informed me, it has just
Yes.
started, and Sir is showing some PPT,
Yes,
not
sir.
any example. Okay, I think first just wait for one or two classes. If the
Yes, sir,
problem
definitely.
remain, definitely I will talk to him.
Yes, sir.
And DS class definitely from next week onwards, the class will be there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So is there any more student will join, or then I will start?
S-
Already I'm
just a
10 minutes
second,
late.
sir.
Hmm?
Sir, I think you can start.
Okay. So first question is that why these classes are required? Because you know that whether you have done C or Java or Python or anything else in your 11, 12 or 9, 10, whatever, but many of you does not have any knowledge of programming before joining this engineering course. So it is a what I say that it is a process that you should learn the programming first in your first semester, and then with that knowledge you will have to apply your skill in the program of data structure. But if your previous knowledge is not that much sufficient, then what will happen? You will not able to do anything in data structure, and this problem will continue because a student, whether it is CSE, IT, EC, electrical, applied, or whatever your background, whatever is your discipline, programming is very much important. Without programming, you cannot do anything. How many of you have not participated in Code Vita? It is my request to all of you that just sit for the exam, forget about the result. If you not able to solve a single one, that is also not the issue, because you are just in second year, so no one is expecting that you will solve one or two problem and get the job opportunity till now, just at this moment. But yes, you have to appear. It will give you a clear cut picture, a flavor of the Code Vita, and definitely this will give you a knowledge of what kind of code programming practice you require. Okay, and for those programming practice, this class has been introduced. Okay, myself and I will engage other faculty member who are interested in coding. Okay, and also in live classes. So today I will ask you some questions, and based on that I will start the class, but I will start from the pointer. Okay, because as per I know that the student they have the knowledge of loop, they have the knowledge of array, how to handle the array, how to iterate the loop, all those. But when the question of pointer will arrive, there is a big question mark. That, sir, what is pointer? Pointer is very tough thing. We don't have any knowledge about the pointer. So let's start with pointer. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So if you want that
Yes, sir.
any other, if you want that you require some background knowledge or some revised classes on loop or any other, so that will be covered up when we will progress. Okay, it is not like that when we will do the problem of pointer, we will not going to discuss loop, because C is any programming knowledge is not like that, that you know A B C D, you know A B C D and you don't know E, so we will go to F. Without knowing E, we cannot reach F. Okay, আমি লুপ জানি না, আমি পয়েন্টার জানি, এটা হতে পারে না। Okay, so we have to grow ourselves like A, then B, then C, then D, then E, then F. It is not like that আমি E জানি না ডাইরেক্ট জাম্প করে F এ চলে গেলাম। It is not possible for any programming language. Okay, you have to know everything. First, variable declaration, then how to take input, then the conditional statements, if, else, all those, then the loop, then array, so then function, then pointer, then structure. So this is one by one the topic will appear and you have to know everything. So today we will start with the pointer. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm sharing my screen. Okay,
Yes, sir.
pointer is very much important because it will help you immensely in the data structure class. Okay, you will able to build your problem, your solution of data structure problem by yourself. Okay, so I think all of you able to see this whiteboard.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
our topic is, today's topic is a pointer. This is the problem, that's why you want that everybody should join and then I will start, otherwise it will create the disturbance. See, our topic is pointer. Now the question is, what is pointer? So in very simple manner I am writing something, int A. So if I ask you what is A, can anyone interact?
Variable.
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 Type of
Integer variable.
Integer type.
it's if I ask you that what is the name of the variable, it is A.
A.
Type variable.
Very good.
A.
Now if I ask you what is the name of the variable, this one,
This is a pointer variable.
The pointer variable.
my question is,
Integer
what is the
type
name
pointer
of the variable? B or star B? What is the name of the variable? B or star B?
B.
B.
B. So basically the name of the variable is B and the type of the variable is int star. This is the first ambiguity, this is the first confusion we need to clear very clearly. Whether, see, if I will write it by this way, int star B, so many of you will say, sir, it is B and the name is, the type is in star. But when I am writing this by this way, that time the ambiguity arises, that after comma sir has written star B, so when I am saying it is A, so it is a star B. The answer is no, it is not star B, it is only B. The type is int star. It indicates it is a variable integer pointer, it is a type of variable integer pointer. Okay, so now what is the difference between A and what is the difference B? A and B, what is the difference between A and B? A is the integer type variable which is able to store the value of any integer type. But what is B? B is an integer pointer which is able to store the address of an integer variable. The address of an integer variable. Or you can say the B is a pointer variable which is able to store the address of another variable of same data type. So in general term, if I ask you what is the definition of pointer, okay?
Yes, sir.
One second, let's just a little bit interact with you. That when if anyone asks you that what is the definition of the pointer, the definition of the pointer is a variable which is able to store the address of another variable of same data type. Okay, the last line of same data type is very much important because you cannot store like this. If you consider this example, after that line I can write B equal to ampersand of A. So what does it means? We able to store the address of A
Address
in a
of
B.
A
Very
in
good.
B.
Now
A.
consider we have another variable float C. Okay, float C. And if I will write B equal to ampersand of C, what will happen? It is a wrong answer. It is not possible. Why? C is also a pointer. C is also a variable which has an address. An address is always be an integer. So why we cannot store in A, the address of C in B? The answer is it lies in the definition of the pointer. That pointer is a variable which is able to store the address of another variable of same data type. That means if you want to store the address of a float variable, you require a float pointer. If you want to store the address of a character variable, you require a character pointer. If you want to store the address of an integer variable, you require a integer pointer. So this point is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
ওকে, যদি কারো কনফিউশন থাকে সে বলবে, সবাই ইয়েস বলার দরকার নেই, তাহলে আমি বুঝে যাবো যে বাকিদের কনফিউশন নেই। ওকে, নাও I will show you some examples of what we have discussed till now. Okay, the smaller things we have discussed till now, very small things about the pointer. Okay, okay, this thing we have done. See, I think this program is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, we have a variable integer, we have another variable float, we have another variable as character variable. Now, as I have told you, to store the address of P, this A, this B, okay, we require specific type of pointer. But see this one, the void star Q. Void is a special type of pointer. Okay, using this void pointer, we able to store the address of any type of variable. Okay, just like you can see that in the void pointer Q, I have stored the address of a integer variable, I have stored the address of a float variable, I have stored the address of a character variable, and it does not matter. And when you are using a void pointer, that time data type matching is not a criteria. It is not a mandatory criteria, because we can do it with any type of any type of variable. When we have a void pointer, we can store the address of any data type inside the void pointer. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I can go to that whiteboard and ask you some basic questions. Suppose that means, sorry. Suppose I have integer, one integer. Okay, let's write it. So if I want to store the address of all this, but we require any void pointer like this. Okay. So is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, if I ask
Yes,
you how many times you have used this void pointer, or rather than if I ask you, have you heard the name void pointer? Have you used it in any kind of your program?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where you have used it?
But
sir.
Void main.
last.
Okay, Broti, no, Bharti. Okay,
Yes, sir.
yes, Bharti, can you? It is possible for your end to on the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if is it possible, then just on and explain us that where you have where we have used this void pointer.
Sir, in dynamic memory allocation, I've used it in creating array.
Dynamic memory allocation, you
Typecast.
have used it creating array. Okay, dynamic memory allocation, when you have allocate the memory for an array, you have used it. So you have used it in terms of any function, that you
Sir,
have used
I've
any
used
function
it
and
for
that function
typecasting.
typecasting. Okay, so indirectly you have written void star or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, is there anyone who can say that without mentioning void star, have you used the void pointer? Or okay, I'm making the question much easier. Have you used any system defined function?
Sir, void main I think is a use of void pointer.
No. Void main is totally different. Void pointer is different. In the void main, when we are writing the void, the first thing is you should not write void main. Writing the void main means you are forcing your machine to do something which is not allowed. Okay, a function when suppose main is the such a type function, it will return something to the operating system when you every time when you call the main. Okay, when you call the main, every time it will return something. So, and the something is basically 0. If the program runs successfully, I think this thing you know, that if the program runs successfully, it will return 0 to the operating system. It must return, because 0 is the indicator, 0 is the number. 0 is the number when after running the main, if the operating system will receive a 0, it will understand you have written the program perfectly, rather than the program runs successfully. The program runs successfully if it will return a 0. And if any kind of intermediate error will occur, so it will return other than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are not random. These has some significant value. Suppose you have written a program which will divide A by B. Okay, and by mistakenly you have taken B as 0. So it means A by 0. So it will generate an error which is called divide by 0 error. And the divide by 0 error, it has a significant numeric uh, indicator. Like suppose you can assume that 5 is the indicator for divide by 0 error. So when operating system will receive 5, it will understand, okay, after running the program I have not received 0. That means the program does not run successfully, and I am receiving a 5. It means it has a divide by 0 error, because as I have told you, for every kind of error there is a numeric value. Those called are macro, basically. Okay, macro value. For every error there is a macro value. By receiving that macro value, the machine will understand what kind of error has occurred. Okay, so by writing void main, you are basically doing something which is not allowed, because when you are writing void main, it will not return anything. So it is a good practice that always write int main, and before the main will close, write return 0. Okay,
Okay,
Yes,
it is
sir.
just like when you will write this thing, that I will come to this part later. Int main, okay, and then you have start writing anything, and before the main will close, okay, just write return 0. Okay, so that means when this intermediate statements, whatever you have written there, anything, and those statement will run, and after that when the program will close, so it will return a 0 to the who calls main, and who calls main? Operating system. So it will return 0 to the operating system, and the operating system will understand that it has run successfully. Clear?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
স্যার হ্যালো
Yes. Yes.
হ্যাঁ স্যার স্যার একটা ওই কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল স্যার, বলছিলাম
বলো।
এই রিটার্ন, হ্যাঁ স্যার এই রিটার্ন 0টা যদি আমি না দিই, তো ওটা তো আলটিমেটলি মানে কম্পিউটার তো ধরেই নেবে না ওটা মানে ওই 0ই রিটার্ন করছি, মানে যদি আমি ওই না লিখি কি কোনো প্রবলেম হবে?
দেখো, তুমি যদি লেখো এইরকম লিখলে
মানে
না, কিছু লিখলে, শুধু মেন
আচ্ছা।
লিখলে, ঠিক আছে,
হুম
কিছু না লেখা মানে ইট উইল টেক অ্যাজ ইন্টিজার যে কোনো ফাংশন, সেটা অনলি ফর মেনের জন্য নয়, ইট ইজ অ্যাপ্লিকেবল ফর এভরি ফাংশন। দ্য ফাংশন which is returning an integer, if you have not mentioned it, by default it will take as integer. Okay,
ওকে
clear?
স্যার।
Now
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
তুমি যদি লেখো void, it means that it will return nothing. So writing void main and then return 0 will show you error.
ওকে স্যার।
Okay, so
ওকে
either এখানে তুমি শুধু মেন লেখো বা int main লেখো, that is the good practice, because void main is actually it is no longer exist. Void main এর existence টাই ভুল। void main যেসব বইয়ে লেখা থাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি সেখানেই ভুল হয়, বুঝতে পেরেছো? void main কখনোই লেখা উচিত নয়।
ওকে স্যার। ওকে স্যার।
ঠিক আছে? Okay, now so my question is that use of void pointer. Okay, now I am asking you some simple questions. See, okay, actually I am expecting some questions from you, like that. Sir, you were talking about the pointer, and you have said that for a particular pointer fixed data type is required. That is, for integer we require integer pointer, for float we require float pointer, for character we require character pointer. But what about the structure? Structure is also a variable, user defined variable, and we can create any type of structure, any. Okay, like structure student, structure book, structure library, struct. By using the keyword struct, we can able to create any kind of user defined data type, that is the structure. So that means for that purpose, how a machine could know that what type of pointer is required? Definitely for all those different kind of structure that is able to create, for all those we require that type of pointer, the structure type of pointer, to store the address of that particular structure. Okay, now where you have used it, see, I'm writing a simple line, and I think all of you have used it. Forget about character, forget about float. I want to create an array, okay, in dynamic memory allocation. Okay, suppose the name is P, and N is there, I is there. Okay, now First, I want to know that how many number. Writing it in C. Huh? I think all of you are comfortable in C.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So enter how many numbers. Okay. I think somebody wants to enter. Okay. So now I have taken that n is the number of element for the array, and now I will write. I allocate the memory dynamically. Okay. So how to write p equal to? You know? So rather than what is the normal practice, you have to write p equal to then something like int star. By this way, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am not going to write it by this way. I will write some different way. Okay. Same thing, but in reverse order. Our first motive is to allocate the memory. Okay. So for memory allocation, either I have to use malloc or I have to use calloc. Okay. So I am using here malloc. And for which type of data type I will going to take for integer. So okay, let's use it the size of int. Okay, and then multi. How many integer I require? N. Okay. So this is the total amount of memory. Clear or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So suppose if I
Yes, sir.
size of integer, let's take is a 4. Okay, and suppose n is 5. So total 4 into 5, 20 bytes of memory will allocate for me. So I think is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now my question is that now consider this situation that in memory location this 20 bytes memory it has been allocated. Okay, and the starting address of this memory is 3000. So as I am it is this 30 bytes memory will allocate. Now how does computer will know that I am taking this memory for which type of variable? It is not able to know. You can think that, sir, you have written size of int, so it will understand that you are taking the memory to store the integer. Okay, instead of writing size of int, as I know the size of integer, so I can write directly 4 into n. I cannot even 4 into n. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now you tell me that if I write 4 into n, see, size of int does not do anything. Size of int, size of basically an operator, size basically an operator, an operator. Maximum of us think that it is a function. It is not a function. It is an operator which will return the size of any data type. Which will return the size of any data type. So basically, size of int, size of char, size of float, whatever that it will return an integer. It is, we know that. So okay, whatever, forget about the size of. If we directly 4, so it is 4 into n. Now tell me how machine will understand that I am allocating this memory for integer. Is there any way of understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we
Because the
do
pointer
typecasting,
is
sir.
of integer.
No, till now.
So till now, no, sir.
Till
No,
now
sir.
there is no scope. So by this
No,
way,
any-
yes. So by this way, we can allocate. I think this thing is clear that by writing size of int and by writing direct 4, both are same. Is it clear? By writing size of int or writing directly 4, it is same. Is that clear to all of you? Size of
Yes,
int
sir.
does not indicate size of int does not indicate that I will allocate this memory for integer, or I am allocating this memory for integers. Is that clear? This thing you have to clear in your mind. This must
Yes,
be
sir.
very clear. Okay?
Yes,
So
sir. Yes.
size of int does not mean that we are allocating this memory for integer. Clear? We can directly write this 4 also. So which will give that no idea of for which type of data type I am allocating the memory. Okay. So till now, what we have written, there is no point of understanding that I am allocating this memory for integer. Okay. Now, so by this way, my question is, by this way, you are allowed to allocate memory for float. You are allowed to allocate memory for character, and also you are allowed to allocate the memory for your defined data type, that is the structure or anything else, because size of int is known by the machine, size of character is known by the machine, size of float is known by the machine, but the size of structure, a particular structure which is actually created by you, the size of that, it is not predefined in the machine. When you write the table of the structure, that time it becomes clear. So my question is that using malloc, you have allocated the memory, but till now it is not clear that whether the memory is for the integer, or whether the memory for the float, or whether the memory for the character. Okay. So when this malloc function will allocate this, actually m, it is, though we say it malloc, the actual name is malloc. Malloc. M means memory, alloc for allocation. So it is malloc, memory allocation. Okay. So see, when we you have allocated bytes of memory over here using this malloc function, and the starting address is 3000. After allocating this, what this malloc function will return? Can anybody say this?
Void pointer, sir.
Basically, whatever the type, the main part is pointer, because it will return the starting address. Clear? It will return the starting address and the starting address of the memory chunk. Okay. So when it will return the starting address, this 3000. Okay, an address, definitely we know that the address is pointer. To return the address, we require a pointer. The question is what kind of pointer? Okay. The question is what kind of pointer, because using malloc you able to create the memory for integer, you able to allocate the memory for float, you able to allocate the memory for character. That means you able to allocate the memory for any type of variable. So when you allocate the memory for any type of variable using the malloc, so definitely the return type must be a generalized pointer. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why the return
Sir.
type is a void pointer? Because we know the void pointer, but why? The question is why? Why? Because the return type must be a generalized pointer which is able to store the address of any kind of variable. And what we have seen in this program, that the void pointer is a pointer which is able to store the address of any kind of data type. Okay. So that's why the return type of malloc or calloc is a void pointer. So I think now it is clear to all of you that why the return type is a void pointer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we require? We require to store it in an integer pointer. Clear? Because your p is the integer pointer. Okay. That means for that purpose, you need to convert this void pointer into corresponding integer pointer. Clear? Okay. So that means we require a type casting. So for type casting, that means here comes it. Int star. So by writing int star, now the void pointer, which is by default the return type of malloc, now it become that void pointer. Now after this type casting, it converted to what?
Integer type. Integer.
integer pointer. Clear?
Integer pointer.
Yes. So that means now this 3000, which is carried by the address 3000, which is carried by a void pointer. Now that has been carried by some integer pointer. You have converted that into integer pointer. Now you are able to store this 3000 value in a integer pointer. Now you are able to store this 3000 value in integer pointer. So now you can write p equal to this. So it means what? See, now see step by step what happened. First, it will take the memory. Okay, the amount of memory we require, allocate that using malloc, convert that malloc in, convert the void pointer into integer, store that into p. Again, I am saying calculation of the amount of memory required, allocate that using malloc, it will return a void pointer, convert that void pointer into integer pointer, store it in an integer pointer. Clear? Done?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Follow? Definitely.
Sir, void pointer can store the address of integer data.
Yes.
Then what's the use of this typecasting? Because, sir,
Because
then
you
that will
have
be-
the, yes, the void pointer, just you have the answer with yourself. Void pointer can store the address of integer pointer, but integer pointer cannot store the address of void pointer. Clear?
then, sir, that p
That's
pointer
why-
ID, that
That's why you have an integer pointer p
yes, sir.
and you have the void pointer. So you have to store the void pointer, the return of the void malloc function is the void pointer in p, which is not possible.
Yes,
Clear?
sir.
If
Yes, sir.
reverse one is there, that p is your void pointer, that time we don't require any kind of typecasting. If
Typecasting.
if p is the void pointer and malloc returns integer pointer, that does not problem because void pointer can store integer, but integer pointer cannot store void. That's why you need to convert it.
Sir,
Okay.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, he's asking that we can just instead of creating an integer pointer, we can create a void pointer and then store the outcome of malloc in the void pointer.
Yes, sir.
Your question is not clear. I'm not getting it.
So we have a
Sir,
pointer. So we have a pointer of integer type. So instead of that pointer, we can create a generic pointer of void type. Then there is no
Why?
need of
Because
typecasting.
see, because the malloc and calloc function which are available to us, that will only return the void pointer. Clear? Why?
Yes, sir.
Because the malloc and why there is not specific pointer to create the memory for integer, to create the memory for float. Because that time now you require so many type of functions to create the memory for specific pointer type. Clear? And also how your machine could know. I think all of you, what is you are missing, that is the structure. Structure is basically a very important data type which is defined by you, and a machine does not know what will be the size, what are the basic element will be there inside the structure. So that's why it has created a general platform through which you will able to create the, or you able to allocate the memory for any kind of pointer. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Float, character, integer, unsigned integer, double, unsigned float, these all things are available. These all data types are available in machine. Suppose the machine could know there are about 20 types of data type which are system defined. But what about the structure? Here, what I'm saying. So structure is not a system
Yes,
defined.
sir.
You will create in the language like this, structured programming like C, or procedural programming like language like C, or in object-oriented programming where you create different types of object. So how a machine could know the basic element inside the object? Okay, na? That's why it is there. Okay. When I think some of you have the idea of Java, slightly.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So when you write that, suppose this class name is student ob equal to new student. You know, when you write new, what happened? behind the
So
new
dynamic memory allocation, sir, for the
Dynamic
object.
memory allocation.
using what? You know that actually done using malloc and calloc.
Yes, sir.
So behind the Java, there is a C code is running.
But sir,
In suppose see when you learn C++, you will see there is a thing called destructor, okay, which will deallocate the memory. Constructor will allocate the memory, and destructor
Yes,
will
sir.
deallocate the memory. So the same thing is present in Java. You don't need to mention that. When you declare any variable inside a block, and when your control comes out of that block, automatically the destructor is called, but you don't need to mention that, and the memory become freed. Okay, so these things are there. That's why in C++ you need to write the destructor, but in Java you don't need to write the destructor. That's why this is the one of the most important feature in Java, which is called automatic garbage collection. Okay, so let's start it, and we are basically discussing the C. So maybe some of the people became bored with the Java. Now we start. So I think the use of void pointer and conversion of void pointer into integer pointer and store it in P, it is clear to all of you. Okay. Up to
Yes, sir.
this much is clear. Okay. Now I will take input. Okay. So for input, okay, just I am writing a simple line that printf in enter values. Okay, then I'm writing a for loop, and inside the for loop, I will write the scan statement inside the for loop. Okay. So for this, and how many variable I need to take? N number of. Okay.
Sir, once
So for লুপের পরে সেমিকোলন পড়ে গেছে।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ
for loop এর পরে semicolon।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে ওকে ওকে চলো ব্যাপারটা বোঝা গেছে কি লাইনটা right I to me
yes, sir.
we can discuss it. Okay, so see that here I have written P plus I. Okay, so what is P plus I? First the question is, what is P? If you remember the previous diagram that I have written here, that 3000, I have told that 3000 is the base address, okay, of this 20 bytes memory block. So definitely this P contains what? 3000 is the pointer
3000.
which is stored the address of this block, the starting end of this block. So P contains, P is another pointer variable. It is very much clear. It contains 3000 and it points to this chunk. Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Now what is P plus? Okay, what is P plus I? So initially you can say that this initially the I is 0. So it is 3000 plus 0. So it become 3000. And again, when this I become 1, so it is 3000 plus 1, and it is equal to 3000. Sorry, it is equal to 3001. So am I right?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
No,
no, sir.
because if this will work and if this is the scenario na, so next, that means your first integer will take 1 byte, and then this next address 3001 will be the place for your next integer, but we know that our integer will take what? 4 bytes.
So 4 byte, 4
4
byte.
bytes.
Sir, 4 bytes.
So the address of next integer must be 3004.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means this is not the case. Am I clear?
Yes,
That
sir.
means this is
Yes,
not
sir.
the case. So the question is, then what is the case?
স্যার পয়েন্টার কি ইনক্রিজ করলে কি নেক্সট সেম টাইপ অফ পয়েন্টার কে টার্গেট করে মানে এরকম কিছু আছে?
না,
Sir.
এটা কিছুটা ঠিক বলেছো, অনেকটাই অনেকটাই কাছাকাছি গেছে। হ্যাঁ, বেসিক্যালি এই জিনিসটাকে বলা হয় p প্লাস i, দ্যাট মিনস when, দেখো বেসিক্যালি তুমি কি করছো, প্লাস, তো প্লাসটা কি অপারেশন?
Increments the pointer's address, sir, by 4.
হ্যাঁ, আসছি, একদম একদম রাইটলি সেড। সো p প্লাস i বেসিক্যালি আর অ্যারিথমেটিক অপারেশন, বাট problem is that in that arithmetic the two variables are involved, I and p, and among those two variables one is a pointer. Clear?
Yes.
So when in an arithmetic where two variables are involved or any variables involved, and among them if any one become pointer, so the arithmetic is not become a normal arithmetic, it become pointer arithmetic. Am I clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
Yes, sir.
become
Yes, sir.
a pointer arithmetic, and pointer arithmetic is something different than the original. So when you are writing see, when we are writing that p plus i, it is actually p plus I into
Size of int.
Size
Size
of
of
int.
size of int. Now here again the question comes. Size, yes, actually back it to okay. So again the question comes, why size of int? As because I is int?
No, sir, because of the pointer.
It's a P is
Because
int.
the p is int. Very good. If p is a float pointer, so the calculation is something like p plus I into size of float, because I is always an integer. Because we are using this I to denote the index of the array, and we know that whether it's a float array, character array, or whatever, I think you know now the term index. If
Yes,
it is
sir.
a of
Yes.
0,
Yes, sir.
the second one
Yes.
is a of 1. So this 0, 1, this 0, 1, these all are basically the indexes. Okay, and these indexes is always integer, whether it is a float array or character array or integer array or structure, any kind of array. Okay, so the size of the integer. So this is size of int only because of p is int. Okay, so now let's see that how this calculation will take place now. So it means now p equal to, we know that this p is our 3000, and plus when this I is 1, so rather than let it be I, and into size of int is 4. Okay, so take it as 4. So when it is 0, definitely 3000, but when I is 1, it become 3004. Okay,
4.
when I is 2, it becomes 3008.
2008.
Okay, so it is very simpler. By this way we can do it. Okay, actually not we, the computer can do it by this way. Okay, so this is a pointer arithmetic, and when you are allocating memory dynamically, this thing will happen inside the machine. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, কোন ডাউট থাকলে কিন্তু সঙ্গে সঙ্গে বলবে, হ্যাঁ? Okay, now we will see some example, another example. It will be a good one. See this one, huh? Is that clear? Visible na to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, I can do one thing. I can copy this and paste it on the board, so I can explain it here.
আচ্ছা স্যার, আমরা যখন নর্মাল কোনো ভেরিয়েবল ডিক্লেয়ার করি তখন কম্পাইলার বোঝে কি করে ওই ভেরিয়েবলটা কোন মেমোরি লোকেশনকে ডিনোট করছে?
বোঝে না তো, ওটা তো তুমি নিজের মতন করে নিয়ে নেবে। মানে এটা কোনো ফিক্স লোকেশন নেই। আমি 3000টা লিখেছিলাম ফর এক্সাম্পল, ইট ইজ নট লাইক দ্যাট ইট উইল অলওয়েজ টেক 3000।
না না, সেটা বলছি না, মানে সাপোজ আমি ইন্ট আই ইকুয়ালস টু 5 লিখছি, তো আইটা কোন পার্টিকুলার মেমোরি লোকেশনকে ডিনোট করছে এটা কম্পাইলার বোঝে কি করে?
I equal to 5 ডিনোট করলে I কোন লোকেশনে, when you declare some variable na, it will allocate, মানে it will occupy memory in your RAM.
Yes,
Okay, so it being faced from that location, it being faced from that location, suppose it is stored in, it will occupy some memory in the RAM. Okay, and when you run the program, it will face the value from the RAM. Okay, bring that value to your CPU registers. If you need to done some computation cannot be done in the RAM. Okay, all the computation has been done in your CPU register, because that's why you have a memory hierarchy. I think Onivan definitely will cover you that. Okay, so the memory hierarchy in the CO subject.
Yes, sir.
শুনো থাকবে যে memory hierarchy, that is a pyramid. Okay, which look like this. We call memory hierarchy pyramid. Okay, as much we going towards the upside, it will increase the speed. Okay, and also decrease the size. This section will denote the size of the memory, and as much we are going upward, it will denote that the speed is become higher. Okay, so suppose if this is your secondary memory, then this is your primary memory, that is RAM. Secondary memory means your hard disk. Then this part you have your cache memory. Okay, and at the top you have registers, which has the highest speed and very small amount, and which will directly interact with your what called that your CPU. Okay, these registers are present in the CPU. Cache memory also, the primary memory, that is RAM, you can attach it from separate side, but your registers are those are present inside your motherboard and processor. Okay, cache memory present in your motherboard, and CPU registers are present in your processor, inside the processor. So basically the value when you write a program, the initial memory will create here in the RAM. Okay, and then when any computation will done, that will come to cache, and then from cache to register, and then the computation will done, and then again it will return here. So when you are writing C is equal to A plus B, and we think that is a very simple one. It is not that much simple as we have think, because this A and B and C, it will occupy memory in the primary, that is in your RAM. Okay, and then from A and B, this value will come to register, and where the computation will done, that is the A plus B will take place. And after doing A plus B, when you have the value of A plus B, suppose it is 3, it is 5, and then when you have the result 8, and that will transfer to see in the memory location. Clear? So by this
Yes,
way
sir.
it being faced. By this way it being faced. Okay. So now we come back here. Okay, this is very interesting program, and if you able to understand this program clearly, na, I think every confusion regarding the pointer has been clear. Okay, so first what we have a variable p, which is a normal integer variable. Okay, so I'm writing this p. Now consider the address of p was 2000, and definitely value is 5. So I think is that clear to all of you? Then
Yes, sir.
then we have another variable q. Okay, then we have another variable q. Suppose consider the address of this q is 3000, and and content we will write later. Consider another, that is R, and suppose it is stored in 4000, and consider another, that is S, whose address is 5000. Clear? Done. Now see the line one by one. When I'm writing Q is equal to ampersand of P, Q is equal to ampersand of P. That means the address of P. So what is the address of P?
2000.
2000.
2000. So when I'm equal to address of P, so 2000 will stored in where?
Q.
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 That means the content of Q is now
2000.
2000.
here. Okay. Next line. I have written R equal to ampersand of Q. So what is the address of Q?
3000.
So now that
3000.
become the become the content of.
R.
R.
Very good. So now A is equal to ampersand of R. What is the address of R?
4000.
4000.
Very good. So now what is the content of S? So content of S become
4000.
very good. So you people are very intelligent. Good. So now let's see this thing. This one, P is equal to ampersand D, and I'm storing here the value of P. Okay. So what is the output will come? P is equal to
5.
5.
I know that. So
5.
your first answer is 5.
2000.
P is 2000. No, the address
No,
of
sir,
P
sorry,
is
sorry, 5. Yes, sir, sorry.
The value.
See, in the bracket, what I have written, it is the address of the variable, and in the box, what I have written, it is the content of that variable. You know that, na? Suppose in a hotel, if that means the address is the address of the hotel, and the people are staying in the hotel, that is basically the content of the hotel. Okay. So now star Q. This thing we need to understand very clearly. Star Q. Okay. Okay, star Q means star Q equal to star. See, what is the value of Q?
2000.
2000.
So star Q means star 2000. I think it is clear to all of you.
The star Q
And
will be 5.
Star Q means star 2000, and star 2000 means what? Yes, the answer is 5, but we need to understand one thing. Why?
Value at
Star
2000.
2000 means value at 2000. Very good. So value at 2000 means what? In 2000 memory location, what is the value we have?
5.
5.
So that means star 2000 means 5. Clear?
5.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it is a dereference operator.
Yes. So it means 5. Now I will have removed this one. Now this one. Okay. The star R. This one. Okay. So okay, let's write the same thing. Star R. That is equal to star. What is the content of R?
3000.
3000.
Okay.
3000.
So now tell me, star 3000 means value at location 3000.
2000.
That is what?
2000. Start.
2000.
Star 2000.
So that
Star
means it is star 2000,
2000.
and star 2000 means
5.
5.
again it is 5.
5.
Yeah.
5.
So you see this part, star 3000 is basically 2000, and star 2000 means 5. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So similarly, I think now it is clear to all of you that star S, that is pointer to pointer. Okay, so it means star.
Right.
No. S means
4000.
4000.
4000. So now
4000.
it becomes star star 3,
3000. 3000.
that is equal to star
2000.
2,
Also 5.
that is equal to
5.
So I think these things are clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
The pointer is clear, void pointer is clear, pointer to pointer to pointer, whatever, everything. Return type of malloc and calloc is also clear. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Done.
Sir, one
Yes.
question.
Who have a
Sir,
question?
Deepak, me.
Deepak, bolo.
Sir, in the initialization part, do we have to declare the variables as star or double star or triple star?
Here.
Or we can simply just declare it
In
as
this
a
part.
pointer and store it as a reference. Every pointer stores a reference, right?
Every pointer, see, reference is different thing. Don't see, you need to understand these terms very carefully, because terms are different, meanings are different. Reference is something different, pointer is something different. Pointer and reference are never be same. Okay?
Yes, sir.
When you
Sorry,
are,
the
see,
address of
the terms are very easy, Deepak. Pointer is not that much complicated. Don't make it complicated. It's very simple. Pointers are basically a variable. It is not a reference. Pointer a reference, not. It is not any reference. It is a simple variable. The special category is, the special feature is, it is able to store the address. Nothing more. So what you can say, the content of every pointer must be integer. Whether it is a float pointer, whether it is a character pointer, whether it is a integer pointer, whatever the type of pointer, okay, the content of every pointer, is an integer. And that's why you know that I am showing a small program to you. Basically, all these programs I have written to make you understand the feature of pointer, though these are written many years back. See this thing where I have written flow integer pointer, float pointer, character pointer, void pointer. Okay. And
yes,
then this, for this program, these lines are not important. Okay, these lines are not important. Now you know that the size of integer is 4 byte, size of float is 8 byte, size of character is 2 byte. Okay, but the interesting thing is that though size of float is 8 byte, size of float pointer is 4 byte. Though size of character is 2 bytes, the size of character pointer is 4 byte. So all these output are 4. All these outputs are 4. Why? Because all the pointers are basically storing the address, and all the addresses are integer. And the by default size of integer is 4, suppose in the modern compilers. In the modern compiler, not for all. If you use Turbo C, it becomes
is 2 bytes.
2 byte.
Okay, so don't confuse with reference and pointer.
Okay, sir. I
Reference,
mistakenly said that reference,
yes,
but
reference is
so
something different.
I meant the address. Like uh, at first star q, then star star r, then
Yes,
every pointer stores a address. So is
yes,
it necessary to declare it as a double star r or double
yes,
triple
definitely.
star
Because
s?
when you want to store the address of a normal variable in C, normal variable that is not a pointer, you require a simple, this one, a simple pointer. Okay, but when you want to store a address of a pointer, yeah, when you want
Okay,
to store the address of a pointer, that time you require a pointer to pointer.
okay,
You can't store address of star q in star r. You require star to star. That is pointer to pointer.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question. No. Okay. So now I will come to this part. Actually, this is our next topic, the size of the pointer. See, there are types of pointer is something different. Integer, float, char, these all are basically the variables, or rather, sorry, the data types. But data types of the pointer, it is like that. But types of pointer is not depend upon the data type. Types of pointer is something different. Okay, it is like there are mainly 3 types of pointer are there. Okay, they are called near pointer. Okay, near, N-E-A-R, near pointer. Then far pointer and huge pointer. Okay, all the pointers are by default near pointer. See, here I have mentioned the pointers. It is, if you not write anything, int star p, float star p, cat star b, void star q, these all are by default near pointer. Okay, and the basic characteristics is that the size of a near pointer is equal to the size of the integer variable in that compiler. Make it clear. Size of a near pointer, size of this near pointer is equal to the integer variable declared in that compiler. Okay, so if in this compiler, as in this compiler I am talking about, suppose is deb c, queen c, or whatever code blocks, if you were using that, in that the size of integer is 4. Okay, and that's why in this program, okay, all the output will give you result 4, as these all are become near pointer. Okay, size huge and far, they are 8 bytes. Okay, so when the memory location, the address memory location become bigger, that time we use far or huge. So I am not going to go deeper on that. I think it is clear that why the size of the pointer is same. If anyone will ask you that integer is 4 byte, float is 8 byte, character is 2 byte, what is the size of each pointer of those types? So your answer is, if all the size of those pointer are size of equal to the integer variable in that compiler. So if integer variable has 4 bytes, float pointer is 4 bytes, character pointer is 4 bytes, integer pointer is 4 bytes, any type of pointer is 4 bytes, because you have not mentioned is as far or huge. If I will write int far star p, that become 8 bytes. Int far star p or far int star p, both are possible. You can write first integer then far, or first far then int. Same applicable for huge also. Okay, so these are the things we have done today, that is pointer. Then we have seen some programs. Okay, pointer arithmetics, this star, double star, triple star, far, near, huge. This is not important. So these are the basic parts of the pointer. Okay, and our next topic is structure with pointer, but I think too much thing is in one day, it become heavy for you. Till today we stop till now, and we will start our next class from how to handle structure and pointer inside the structure of pointer, like those. Okay, but the main is whether you are able to understand or not.
Yes, sir, it was understandable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was clear.
It is 50%,
Yes,
60%. Pointer is, I am telling you, pointer is not that much easy. If you require more classes on the same topic, I will do next class on the same topic also. I have no issue of that, because the main thing is the basic concept must be clear. If I will take this class repeatedly, and supposedly it will take 3 months to write you first program of linked list by yourself, that is the big satisfaction from your end. It is not like that we have to complete the linked list in 45 minutes of class. Okay, take your time. My motive is to make you understand how to do programs by yourself, how to do all data structure program or any other program which will come in your future. But definitely first we will see about all those DS programs and all this. I need to clear your concept very clear. Let's take the time, 2 months, 3 months, no problem. You have to write the programs by yourself. And one day when you're able to do that, sir, I have written a program of single linked list totally by myself. Creation, addition, deletion, anything, merging of linked list, sorting of linked list, searching in the linked list. That time, definitely there is a big satisfaction for you. Yes, you have done. Okay, so if you want to require to repeat this class again, I will do it. Tell me very frankly, I have no issues. সাগর কিছু বলবে বলবে মনে হচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বলছি রিকারশনটা যদি একটু বুঝিয়ে দিতেন বেশ ভালো হতো।
রিকারশন হবে, আমি কি বললাম আগে যে বললাম, যেটা প্রথমেই বললাম খেয়াল রেখো, ইট ইজ লাইক এ বি সি ডি ই এফ জি লাইক দ্যাট। ইউ ক্যান নট, তুমি বলতে পারো না যে আমি জি জানি, বুঝলি, আমি না সিটা জানি না, হতে পারে না। তোমাকে একটা একটা করে জেনে এগোতে হবে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? হ্যাঁ, সো আমরা রিকারশনে পড়বো, নো প্রবলেম। কিন্তু পয়েন্টারটা আমরা আগে একটু ভালো করে ক্লিয়ার করি, বুঝতে পেরেছো? ঠিক আছে, রিকারশন, কারণ দেখো রিকারশন যখন আমরা পড়বো তোমাদের পয়েন্টারটা ক্লিয়ার, আমি সবার আগে পয়েন্টার স্ট্রাকচার এই দুটো আমি ক্লিয়ার করতে চাই। Why? Because when you do other things, না, the concept of these two things will come. আমরা ধরো রিকারশনের একটা প্রোগ্রাম তোমাকে আমি দেখালাম, কিন্তু সেখানে কোনো পয়েন্টার দেখালাম না, তখন তোমার হয়তো পরে কখনো করতে গিয়ে যে রিকারশনের প্রোগ্রামে পয়েন্টার আসে, তুমি পারবে না, তাই না? বেসিকটা আগে ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যায়, জিনিসগুলো আগে ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যায়। রিকারশন দ্বারা টপিক, রিকারশন ইজ মানে রিকারশন একটা ডেটা স্ট্রাকচারের টপিক হয়ে গেল, বুঝতে পেরেছো? এটা প্রসেস বলতে পারো টু রাইট এ প্রোগ্রাম, তাই না? এটা প্রসেস টু রাইট এ প্রোগ্রাম। কিন্তু আমরা এখানে যেটা কথা বলছি, তুমি বলছো একটা সুন্দর ঘর তৈরির কথা, আমি এখানে বলছি ইট, চুন, বালি, সুরকির কথা। ভালো করে তোমাকে ইট, চুন, বালি এগুলো জানতে হবে, মার্বেল যেগুলো একটা ঘর বানাতে লাগে, তারপর তো আমরা ডিফারেন্ট কাইন্ড অফ ঘর বানাতেই পারবো, বেডরুম থেকে বাথরুম সব বানাতে পারবো, ঠিক আছে? Any other question? অরিত্র?
No sir.
ওকে, সো ডেফিনেটলি আমরা তাহলে, আচ্ছা তাকে বলে রাখি, একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের এই যে হার্ডওয়্যার ল্যাব গুলো স্টার্ট হবে, টাইম স্লট নিয়ে একটু গন্ডগোল হচ্ছে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? সো তোমাদের যে রুটিনে যে টাইম স্লট গুলো দেওয়া আছে, হ্যাঁ, 4টে থেকে 3:45 to 5:15 ডিজিটাল এবং সিও, ঠিক আছে? তো আমার মনে হয় যে সিওটা বা যে কোনো একটা ওই সময় হয়তো হবে, হ্যাঁ, সিওটা হয়তো যাদের যাদের সিও ল্যাব থাকবে ওই সময় হয়তো হবে না, বুঝতে পেরেছো? কারণ টোটাল আমাদের 4টে সিও ল্যাব আছে, 4টে ডিএস কি বলে ডিজিটাল ল্যাব আছে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? তো এইগুলো আমাকে সিকোয়েন্সিয়াল 4টে মানে দুটো সেকশন মিলিয়ে বলছি, তাহলে আমার 4-4-8টা শিডিউল লাগবে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? এন্ড এইগুলো প্যারালাল আমি রাখতে পারবো না, হ্যাঁ। তো প্যারালাল যদি রাখতে পারবো না, তাহলে আমাকে যেটা করতে হবে যে 5টা দিন, তো 5 days, মানডে টু ফ্রাইডে, 5 দিনে এই 5টা রাখতে পারি, বুঝতে পারছি? হ্যাঁ, 5 দিনে 5টা রাখতে পারি, তাহলে ওই 3টে কখন রাখবো সেটা একটু আমাকে ভেবে চিন্তে, হয়তো শনিবার দিনকে, হ্যাঁ, এই শুধুমাত্র ল্যাবটা পড়তে পারে, সিও ল্যাব একটা তোমাদের পড়তে পারে, ঠিক আছে?
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
যে কোনো একটা গ্রুপের, হয়তো তোমাদের তো সেকশন বি থেকে একটা পড়লো, একটা গ্রুপের শনিবার যে কোনো একটা ল্যাব সিওই পড়বে হয়তো, কারণ শনিবার তো অন্য কেউ ক্লাস নেবে না, আমি ছাড়া। আমি আর অনিবার নেবো, আর কেউ নেবে না শনিবার ক্লাস, তো সিওই পড়বে শনিবার সকালে এবং বিকালে আমরা নিয়ে নেবো।
কিন্তু স্যার আমাদের ডিএস ক্লাস কি হবে?
ডিএস ক্লাস কি হবে মানে? ডিএস ক্লাস তো হচ্ছে, তো মাঝে মাঝে তো নিচ্ছেন।
হ্যাঁ, মানে সার্কুলার, সিঙ্গুলার, ডাবল সব শেষ হয়ে গেছে, তো ওই জন্য বলছি আর কি।
আরে আমি আছি তো, তুমি চিন্তা করছো? ঠিক আছে,
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে,
ঠিক আছে। ডিএস আমি এখানে যেন পয়েন্টারটা আগে শুরু করলাম, পয়েন্টার স্ট্রাকচার করিয়ে, ঠিক আছে, আমরা তারপর সেখানে নোট ক্রিয়েশন শেখাবো তোমাদের, ঠিক আছে? নোট তৈরি করতে হয় একটা সিম্পল, হ্যাঁ। তুমি ধরে নাও আমাদের একটা ডেটা স্ট্রাকচারের প্রোগ্রামে গিয়ে একটা তোমার সিঙ্গলি লিঙ্ক লিস্টের শুধুমাত্র ক্রিয়েশন, এইটা করতে আমার আরো মিনিমাম এইরকম ধরো যতক্ষণ ক্লাস নিলাম এরকম ক্লাস আরো 3টে কি 4টে হওয়ার পরে আমরা হয়তো একটা তুমি বলতে পারো যে একটা আমি সিঙ্গেল লিঙ্কে শুধুমাত্র ক্রিয়েশন অনলি ক্রিয়েশনটা করতে পারবো।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে স্যার।
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে ওকে স্টুডেন্ট, আমরা গুড মর্নিং থেকে শুরু করেছিলাম, যদিও এটা নাও ইজ গুড আফটারনুন, আর রোববার দুপুরবেলা সবাই মাংস ভাত টাত খেয়ে ঘুমিয়ে পড়বে। ঠিক আছে,
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Thank you.